glad y'all made it here. We got a full house tonight. As you all know, qualifying opened up on January the 8th, and we've had several people qualify. I can get you a list of them if you guys want to see it. I'll send it out in an email here in the next couple of weeks. And it closes on February the 9th, and I plan on being here at the headquarters, not this headquarters, but the one that we'll have then, that whole day like I was the day that it opened. That way you'll have plenty of time to do whatever we need to do. I think we had a good year last year and had a lot of stuff that was a success. And qualifying for these positions on the executive committee is how we start building for the future and, getting people who are motivated and will be involved. We've brought in a pretty good, fair amount of money. I have no idea how much it is. I've been passing that off to Mr. Jack, and you have a treasury report, Jack, you'd like to share with us?
I have one as of last week. We have a balance in our bank account of $16,446.53. That's include. We started the year with $12,550. We, as of last week, had collected qualifying fees $33.96, almost $3,400, and $500 more on our fundraiser, the December dinner. Right now, I've got utility bills total about $300 that aren't paid. Of course, we'll need to be paying some rent, I hope, somewhere.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a
I
minute.
guess you're gonna report on that.
Yes.
If anybody has any questions, always remember, anytime you have any questions, call me. And I'll try to give you some kind of answer.
Thank you, Jack. I'll turn the air down. It's a little hot in here. Couple of little housekeeping items I think we need to take care of. I kind of talked with Jeff today, and he's got a lot going on with his campaign, and I don't want him to feel like he's having to stop and do some things for us when he needs to be out doing what he needs to do for his own campaign. And I've asked him to take a temporary leave of absence until he gets through the primary, whatever he feels comfortable with, and Bob has volunteered to fill in for him during that time. So I think Jeff's done a great job for us. I've enjoyed working with you. I really appreciate everything you've done for the party. And, you're still going to have a vote as a state executive committee member. None of that really changed. So that was kind of, I think will be a smooth transition going forward. So look for some emails from Bob and myself going forward, and that way he can focus on his campaign and we can focus on party business and get that stuff taken care of. Jack mentioned the headquarters. We've got to be out of this building at the end of this month. And I have spoken with Margaret Stevens, who has the building right across the road. Used to be an ice cream shop right beside the Strand. We literally can pick up all these chairs and walk them over after the meeting tonight if you would prove to go there. So it's a little bit more rent, a lot bigger building. And I think I got everybody to look at it, but did you make it to look at it?
No, I haven't.
I think Jack and Don, I failed to get them in the building. So, if we need to go and look at it or something as a group, we can. But it's like I say, I've got the keys to it. It's a lot bigger facility. It'll fit us 1,000 times better. It's another 10 or 12 feet wider. We've got the money to pay the rent. I think everybody's enjoyed having a place right here in town. Third Saturday starts in April, I think, something like that. So all you candidates will have a place to go and call home, a bathroom to go to. It's just simple stuff like that at these festivals that makes a big difference when you can go and that spot's there and you don't have to worry about if you can get in or not. And boom days and the Christmas parade and Halloween, and there's just a whole lot of stuff going on that will be a good thing for us to keep doing moving forward. The rent's going to be $300 a month. We will have a signed lease this time. There will be no real estate sign in the window this time. We will have. She wants us to have some. What'd you call it, Chris? What policy did you tell me to have? The insurance policy.
Little business policy.
Little small business policy. We'll research that out and get that figured out. That way, if something was to happen, we'd be covered on that. I'd hate for somebody to try and sue us. Now that we've kind of got things going in the right direction. You never know who might come in and visit us when we got the doors open. But, at this time, I would,
I got a couple of questions.
okay.
Is there parking, back behind the building somewhere where,
Not really.
what would we do for parking?
We're gonna have to use this parking right here and park in this back parking lot and walk through. Because when you walk through this alleyway right here, you're right there at the door.
And there's also parking on the block past it behind the spot down there. There's parking in the back there.
I
So
thought
you
there was
could park
somewhere over there.
You could park back there and walk through the alleyway in the back door or in the front door.
Did anybody park around back tonight? A few of you did. The majority of us fit in right out here and just walk right to there, so, you know, it's, that's the only thing. I think the trade-off, this building's only 13 foot wide and that was 22 foot wide and 100 foot deep. You know, that trade-off would be, to me, a lot better, you know. And the ability to say that's our home for a year and we know we've got it through the election cycle and, you know, have a little confidence in, you know, cleaning up a little bit more and doing a few more things to the building to make it kind of our home.
That was my other question, was the lease, how long?
The 12-month lease is what I've obligated us to if we decide to do this.
Get us through January.
Get us through January, give us an opportunity if we decide to vacate it or whatever, we can clean out after the election. We don't have to be out the day after. It's kind of what, you know, and it gives us the opportunity to be in the Christmas parade without having to have a float and stuff like that. I think it's something we need to do. You know, I really enjoy being able to meet people down here. Qualifying's been great because, you know, I've met several of you down here and, you know, whenever you had a chance, call me, I can meet you down here. We have a place with internet and, you know, we could get things accomplished. Because we had to look up a lot of stuff on the Ethics Commission and stuff like that that I didn't know that you really had to do. On all of you county, all the people from the county that qualified with me, I had 5 days to email the Ethics Commission your qualified papers. And they have emailed them back to me with a stamp on them that you filled out your ethics form. So that's some stuff that we were able to accomplish fairly easy. If we didn't have internet, it might have been a little bit more difficult of a process. Yes, sir.
I move that we give the officers the authority to sign the 12-month lease at $300 and investigate and secure a business insurance policy.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Scotty, I believe you told me that it'll seat about 100 people. Is that the
I think it will. I mean, it's pretty good size. I mean,
I
some
think
of you
that's-
guys have been in there with it. Rodney, you've seen it. I mean, you know, I mean, we're kind of cramped in this one. If you can add about
It's about all we're gonna ever have.
10 more feet width to it, and, you know.
It goes all the way beyond, I mean, we can utilize space back
Yeah,
there.
the bathroom's handicap accessible too. It's on one level. There's not a big step you gotta sit on, you know, fall off of or whatever. It's just a
Also
lot.
kitchen, like a kitchen
Yes.
Yes.
area that they had set up for that ice cream place. that
Got a sink
If we
down
get a
there.
refrigerator and something, you know, microwave or something, we have a.
It'll be good.
You know, the heat and air unit,
Stuff.
there's nothing to clean out. You know,
No,
this
that's-
facility, we've got stuff that's just, we ain't even using, but just this area because I didn't wanna clean it out. Cause I knew we probably wouldn't be here the whole time.
Right.
You know, so I think we can, that would be our semi-permanent home, and I told her I'd like to look at it again when our lease is a little bit closer to being up and our building committee has a little bit more time to meet and get together on some things and give you guys a recommendation of what we need to do going forward. Because this was a quote-unquote non-election year and we've been campaigning and had a special election. It's been, I'll be surprised if next year's really any busier outside of more candidates doing more events for themselves. You know, that's what I see kind of going forward. Is there any more discussion? All right, we got a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor? All against? Motion carries. All right, that being said, after this meeting's over, if anybody wants to hang around and tote a chair over to the next door, that's what we're gonna do. So, all jokes aside, we do have the building to the 31st, but I feel it in our best interest to go ahead and, once I get power and stuff, we don't have to move tonight, because it's not a lot of stuff. Truckload of chairs and some other stuff, I can get a couple people together and we'll knock that out later on.
Can they switch, cut the power on over there even before we.
Yeah, I'll
cut
make it
this
happen.
one?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because all we gotta do is vacuum the floor.
Yeah.
And that's all it'd be in better shape than we had it before. Well, good deal. Our headquarters, if you don't know where it's at, it's right to the right of the Strand going south. It's right there,
Do you
right
know
beside
that,
it.
do you know that one?
I do not know
Know
the
number?
address.
Don't know the number?
I do not. But we'll get that, and I'll get that out to an email to everybody. And I'm excited to get that out of the way, and that way we can move forward. And, you know, it's big enough, we could have a little small dinner or a fundraiser or something like that. If we want to have a candidates use that facility, it's big enough to have people there. So I think you'll appreciate the size of it when we get moved in and have our next meeting there. Qualifying. We've got two different boards here. One is qualifying for the executive committee, which starts the day after the general election. These people will take office. This board right here is dues that are due for this year. And they're $60 a year unless you've paid more or less. Some, you know, there's a little different, little fluctuation there. If you get with Jack on this, if you don't have a green line through your name, you have not paid your dues. So we need to get that done by the 31st. That's what we put in our bylaws last year, and we're going to try and enforce that. So there's no money taken in every month. We get that out of the way and move forward. We've had a lot of people qualify, and that money, as Jack has kept aside, he's probably got that much in the envelope to put in the bank again. And we're going to hold that aside, and that's going to be what we use to help our candidates win these elections. We're going to get together as a steering committee in the next couple months, and by the time the primary is over with, we'll have a plan in place for each candidate. You know, there'll be several factors that we'll discuss that will determine how much money they're going to get. That way they'll know as soon as the primary is over with, this is what we're going to be able to do for you right now. You know, and then we can move forward fundraising throughout the year and potentially give them more as needed. But that's kind of what we're going to do. I've got a tentative budget that I didn't get through with. David Gulledge helped me with that, and we've kind of got it pretty well ironed out, but I want to put a few more details into it and get it a little more set in stone, and I'll have that for you at our next meeting. And there's a couple other things about vacancies we have. Right now, District 1, I know I spoke with Jeannie Mann. She is not, she's got kids, and they're too busy right now to really take part in everything, so she's going to come off District 1. I have heard that Chris Boggs was interested in that seat, so, you know, we'll have to wait until he shows up and do that then. I've tried reading the bylaws to see when we can put somebody on, or there's no set time that I saw where you had to wait a week or this, that, or the other. You know, I moved from District 3 to District 1. So that moved me out of District 3 and put me in the ex officio category, which bumped Jeff Williams off the ex officios, which opened up a seat in District 3. And what I'd like to do now is open up elections for District 3. So at this time, if anybody would like to be making any nominations for District 3, seat 6, and that's for this year only. You'll still have to qualify. Yes, sir.
Scotty, I think we've got somebody that's here tonight that lives in District 3, and it'd be my honor to nominate them if they're interested, and that would be Miss Audrey Brandon. So I'll place her name in nomination.
Okay.
She'll have it.
Got a nomination. Do I have a second? Got a second? Got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor? Same sign.
You do accept, right? Because I didn't
Yes.
see, I was making sure.
She accepts, or we won't be doing this right
Oh,
now.
yeah, good.
Motion
I think we
carries.
should clap.
Congratulations.
Number three, or three?
District 3, place 6.
Place 6.
All right, Miss Audrey, you've already qualified for that seat after November, after the general election, but you'll still need to pay your dues
Okay.
for this year.
All
Okay?
right.
And you're now a voting member, so
Okay.
congratulations. And we can settle up all that stuff after the meeting.
She's been railroaded.
Yeah, that's what I was
All right, we've got 2 vacancies in District 2, and I think we've got somebody here tonight that might be interested in one of them, and I'd like to open nominations for District 2 right now.
I nominate Mr. Sterling Pendergrass for District 2, if he'll accept.
District 2, seat 2,
Two good nominations.
Scott Westbrook.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second, nomination and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. What was your name?
Sterling Pendergrass.
You kin to Jerry Pendergrass?
I'm sure we are somewhere down the line.
What place is it?
District 2, seat
Place,
2.
place two. District 2, place 2. Donna
Good deal. Yeah, Donna Fizel, she's all.
Sterling.
Good deal, congratulations. And again, if you want to qualify, you have until February 9th to qualify for that seat, you know, for that following year. And now you'll, same thing, you'll be due $60 to be a voting member. So, congratulations on that, and we hope you guys, I know Miss Audrey's here all the time. She brings me cookies and pies all the time, so, you know, we wouldn't make it without her. But we ask you to come and show up and help us out. And we're going to do some stuff in your district, so you won't have to travel too far. So we've got a lot of things to do this upcoming year, and I look forward to working with everybody to get that accomplished. Got the headquarters situation took care of. We've talked about the secretary. We've got this taken care of. The state executive committee, we got 3 permanent seats that are up now too.
We got one more. It was telling you got one more vacancy.
Yeah, we still got one more vacancy in 2. Is there anybody else that did not nominate?
And 2,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna nominate somebody that's not here, but
Yeah.
I know a lady that's lives in Timbrook that's
We'll get
showed
her.
an interest.
Yeah.
She's been a faithful member of Congress and everything.
And I'll mention it to her, and if she wants to serve, I'll tell
I
her
don't
to
think
come.
it's in good faith to nominate somebody that's
No,
that's
I
not
wouldn't
here, you
nominate
know, that way.
anybody that's not here.
Has an income.
Well, good deal. I guess we need a motion to close nominations on District 2. No? All right, they're closed. All right, trying to make sure we got everything talked about.
Did you mention that everybody needed to fill out the qualifying papers that's here? I mean, I know most of those guys did up there, but
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out right here. You know, this is the qualifying board right here. If you want to be on the executive committee moving forward, I need you to fill out one of these sheets right here. Give us a check for $25 by the 31st. So after the meeting's over, I'll be here and we'll kind of mill around and check it out and kind of get that done then. And one other thing that we need to talk about, the ex officio members, you know, they are voted on, the chairmanship, vice chairman, and, you know, they're made up of the officers, legal counsel, parliamentarian, presidents of any auxiliary clubs, state executive committee members, then elected officials. So those officers, you know, right now the ex officios are made up of myself, DL, Jack, and Jeff. You know, they don't have to qualify right now. We would be voted on after these officers are placed after the election. One of the things I like to see us do, filling these vacancies moving forward, I think they ought to fill out a sheet, pay $25 to qualify, and their dues. I know that's not in our bylaws anywhere or anything, it's just something to think about. And I think we've got a bylaws committee we established last year. I'm pretty sure we do. And,
Scott, it's in our bylaws that it's $25 to run for the executive committee. What we could do is change it from a nomination to people seeking. If somebody wants to come in and run, you tell them, okay, we can set up 1 month, this position's open. If you want to qualify for the position, fill out a qualifying form, $25, and you will be voted on
the next meeting.
at the next meeting.
Yes.
And that way it'd be self-nomination, and you know that the person was interested because they came in and filled out the form.
Right. And we don't really have a process for that in our bylaws
No.
necessarily. So I think that's something we need to clean up, little housekeeping stuff, no big deal. I think it'll be pretty self-explanatory and be easy to take care of. And, you know, we'll do the bonus executive committee, state executive committee seats too. We'll get all that stuff cleared up in our bylaws. Very easy change. Moving forward, I'm excited to get qualified and over with. There's just a lot of, I feel like it's on my mind all the time, all these stuff, having to keep it straight and make sure I do you guys a good job keeping it square. My little black box over there's got everybody's paperwork in it. I carry it with me everywhere I go in case I bump into somebody who wants to qualify. You never know, because if you know me very well, I'm not in one spot very long. I'm going to this job, that job, or whatever. You know, got a lot of stuff going. One of the things I wanted to talk about tonight too was our calendar for the year. We need to kind of get our head wrapped around what we want to do. I personally, one of the biggest things I would like to see us do is have a candidate forum, Republican forum, you know, before the primary. Because in some situations, we won't have any competition after that. You know, I would like to see these guys running for office have an opportunity to speak to the public. Something we can sponsor, get the Republican Party name out there, you know, and remind everybody what exactly we do stand for. And that's something that we're also going to work with the state party. I'm going to get some information from them and from Majority Leader Ledbetter. I'm going to work with everybody at every level. We're going to get some literature to hand out when we go to these festivals so they can understand exactly what we do and who we represent. You know, our conservative values, you know, mean something, and that's why we voted 73% for Judge Moore in the last election. I know the Democrats think they may have some kind of strategy with outside money filling our state, you know, but it just ain't gonna work. That's just not how our county's set up value-wise at this time. So, you know, we're fixing to get the new headquarters going. We'll get power, water, all that stuff. I'll handle all that, get it switched. So our next meeting will be over there. We'll get you an address and stuff like that in an email. Our executive committee meetings, we need to set those so I can tell everybody, because I'm getting asked every day. I know it's usually the second Tuesday quarterly, but we need to put that on paper of what we want them to be. And when we're not having an executive committee meeting, we'll have a steering committee meeting. And I encourage you to try and attend those too, because we're going to be doing a lot of business during those meetings to make recommendations to the executive committee. You know, there's just a lot of little things that need to be taken care of throughout the course of the year. Pull the calendar up here.
They're usually March, June, September, December, the executive committee meetings. But
Well, I think we need to have one in January every year.
I think we probably need to have one in February this year too.
Well, we'll have to call one or whatever. You know, we need to do them quarterly like we need to do. So typically we've had them in March. So our next meeting will be Tuesday, March 13th. Executive committee. Executive committee.
It'll be right after Fort Payne, and some of all candidates.
And then we'll have one in June, correct?
Not supposed to certify the voting results.
Now, June of last year, I do believe, is the only time we didn't have a quorum all of last year. So I know that's vacation time for a lot of people, and it'll be right after the primary. So I guess it'll be June the 12th will be the next one.
Well, the primary is the 5th.
It's a week after,
You know, we probably really need that.
Yeah,
I think we do. I think it'll be a good time.
There's a lot of paperwork that may need to be done after that primary, so
Yeah.
we need to do it in June, I think.
Because that will be a good opportunity for us to discuss what we're going to do for our candidates going forward in the general election after that primary's over with. So June the 12th.
And then it's September 11th.
Yep. Be September 11th will be the next.
And then it's December.
Scotty,
Yes, sir.
December.
the state bylaws, I believe, requires us to meet as executive committee and certify the election results afterwards. And usually in December, we have a Christmas party event,
Mhm.
and it's hard to work in the executive committee meeting then, so maybe consider a November meeting the day after the elections.
Well, November 13th is the second Tuesday. That'd be a week after the election.
Yeah, but you gotta certify, I believe, the day after. I mean, that would be a Wednesday because we have it on the,
We wouldn't have anything
First
to certify after the general election.
you have to,
I think the chairman is the only one that has to go to the probate judge's office.
yes, he's the only one that goes, but we.
Well, this last election, the special election,
We sort of let that slide, but just check it out.
I'll check it out, but you know,
Because we haven't been able to get everybody together because it wasn't planned.
I don't have a problem having one the second Tuesday in November. That way we can plan our final things for our Christmas Day,
Yeah,
Christmas party. I'm
there's-
fine with that. I think that'll be fine.
Just a thought, not even a motion.
That's the 13th.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with
What was the full committee in
that. On the
November?
13th, yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with sticking to our schedule when that time comes. You know, September, October, if we think we need to call one in November, you could, whatever.
I mean, from my experience so far as chairman, I had to go certify the primary results. Then after that, I really didn't have any response. Ronnie, can you help us out on that a little bit? Do we have to, certify the election after the general?
This is just to the
It's
state.
up to the party to do that. Y'all certify your own election, I'll give you the stuff, you turn it in.
Okay.
Only thing I can encourage people on is the 5 days on the ethics forum, even if it's somebody that's already in office.
Yeah,
It says that you don't have to do it again, but I would do it again just to cover your butt.
Well, everybody that qualified through me, as you well know, I gave you that checklist that plainly says simultaneously on there, and I read it with you, and
It
I
says
made
simultaneous.
Ronnie go get one with a different date on it, and I made everybody, trying to do it by the paperwork they gave me. So that way, I've got a record of it. If there's any issue, it's on them, it's not on us, because I tried to be very diligent,
It says-
keeping track of everything. Simultaneously means to me the same time, which will be the same date.
But what he's saying is, like, if you're already an elected official, you have to do that every year.
Mhm.
And he's saying,
It's in
don't
April.
depend on that
Right.
one, yeah.
I know.
because
Depend on
The
that.
law says
Right,
that
that's-
Even though they say, oh, you already got one,
The law
well,
says
there's
it.
a thing there that says candidate too.
And-
And I had to plead candidate and councilman.
Yeah,
so-
we ran into that too,
Yeah,
the first
so-
day, so.
And you have the 5 days from the day that you qualify to register with the Secretary of State on your campaign committee
Mhm.
and get that report in, and they will email it, email it back to you, give you a confirmation, and then you get on the site. And if you have trouble getting that back, call Secretary of State's office, Ed Packard, and tell them you've not got that email yet, because it has to be 95 days or your name will not appear on the ballot. Also, they'll send you a calendar the first time that you get on, and print off that calendar, because it's gonna say February the 2nd. And that's the day that you have to file. You could probably do it a couple of days before, but don't do it after February the 2nd, because if you miss any of them filing Secretary of State's office, trust me, he's one of them by the book guys, and your name will not be on the ballot if you miss that.
If you have any questions, get with me and we'll get you the right people and make sure you're took care of. We try to do that as you qualify. I try to do get it right. I think we
If
have,
anybody needs any help, come to my office, we'll get on the computer and do it.
I think as far as the November meeting, I think we need to have one second Tuesday in November.
You're talking about a full executive.
Full executive meeting, because it's gonna help me get things taken care of
It's a good
before Thanksgiving. It doesn't get us into the Christmas holiday, and we can talk about things going forward. We can talk to our new executive committee members for the first time. And in that November meeting, I'll have some information ready to hand off to potentially the next chairman or however that goes. Because we can elect officers that night as well. So, yeah, let's do that second Tuesday in November. And that's got that meeting set. so
November 13th.
November 13th. And any other second Tuesday that's not an executive committee meeting will be a steering committee meeting. We will meet, we will conduct business, and we normally have a pretty good crowd on that. And one other thing I like to do as we get a little bit closer, I like to have some of the statewide candidates come to our steering committee meetings when we don't have a lot of business. You know what I'm saying? We can meet and go through some of it. I feel like it's too much to have a speaker and get anything done with the executive committee. What do y'all think about that?
Amen.
Yeah.
You know, it's too much. I don't want, you know, we're already, you know, it's 45 minutes. We're usually about to adjourn by now. I don't want it to be an hour and a half long meeting. I know everybody's got family and stuff they need to take care of. And I think we've about covered everything. I want to get an event scheduled together so we know all what's going on, something we can email out to everybody so we can all be on the same page. And what hurts my feelings the most is when somebody says, well, I didn't know about that. And I'm like, man, how did I not get that to them? You know, because I want everybody to know what's going on. That way you can make a decision to come or not. You know, if I don't tell you and you don't know and you wanted to come, that's just not a good situation to be in. So we're trying to keep everybody informed and let everybody know what's going on. A couple other things. There's a lot of people out sick with the flu, and I know Nick Weldon's little daughter, Chloe, she's in pretty bad shape right now. She's got the flu and having seizures. A lot of y'all don't know. She's kind of got some special needs stuff, and she's just keep them in your prayers. And their whole family's sick right now, and you know the Wootons got the flu. That's why she wasn't at the women's club last night. And the women's club had a great showing last night. I think there was 30, 40 people there.
We've decided it was between 40 and 50. I
Yeah.
should have counted, but it was a wonderful turnout.
Had a good turnout, and like I say, we're going to have some venues for candidates to get in front of the public, in front of the executive committee. And again, I encourage you to get out, get to know them, talk to them, ask them what they're about, because that's, you know, they're representing us when they're on that ballot. So just keep that in mind. Is there anything else we need to talk about that I hadn't covered? Anything going on, special events or anything coming up?
Do we know how you're gonna do the candidate committee, put them in front of the committee, when qualified's over?
Basically, if you're not contested, nobody writes a letter to contest you being a Republican or qualifications for that office. I don't see it being a problem. We're going to meet as a qualifying committee, and we're going to check your address. We're going to check a few little things like that. If not, we're going to call everybody in and ask them a bunch of questions. I mean, you know, if you're in this room right now, we know you're Republicans. We've been around long enough. So qualifying, the way it works, if I understand it correctly, is it's open to anybody to contest somebody and anybody to qualify, all the way to February 9th. February 9th at 5 o'clock, that's over. It closes. So, you know, and there's processes for appeals, not getting into all that stuff before we cross that bridge. When we cross that bridge, I've got the state bylaws and our bylaws. If our bylaws don't have it in it, the state supersedes it. So I've been talking with them about all this stuff to make sure I do everything in qualifying correctly. I don't want to treat everybody fairly. You know, everybody's getting the same treatment from me. You know, and that's how we're going to move forward with it. So that's, you know, as an executive committee, it's our time to, you know, say what we feel about whoever's going to be on our ballot. So, with that being said, does that answer your question?
Pretty much.
So, pretty much, but not really.
No, I mean, yeah.
But most of the people that are qualified, I don't really, you know, I haven't received anything negative about anybody at all. So, and there's a process. It'll be a quick turnaround too. Not going to be drug out. Doesn't have to wait till it's over. You know, any of that type of stuff. So, is there any other questions or discussions?
His text must have.
Yes.
You started to say something about ex officio voting members a while ago. Did you?
I just think that they should fill out the same qualification paper if they're not already on the executive committee. You know, if somebody come in and want to get involved, I don't have a problem with that. They need to fill out the same paperwork as you and I and everybody else has, and pay that qualifying fee, and then pay dues to get them caught up. We just didn't put that in our bylaws, you know, when we Just didn't think about that when we were changing our bylaws, adding the dues in there and the deadline for them to be dues. So that's all. We don't have anything in there. I think the last chairman said you had to wait a meeting, but I got to reading in there, and it don't say it in there anywhere. You know, it doesn't say it anywhere whatsoever. What we did was perfectly legal today. I don't really have a problem with it, but I would just like the executive committee to know what's going on. Some of the people that couldn't make it to this meeting, they could just be in our best interest to take a qualifying paper tonight, vote on them on the next time. That's all I'm saying, and the bylaws committee will come up with a recommendation to give you guys to vote on that, and we can change it that night if we need to. That's what I was trying to get to about that. Anything else? Still made it in about 45 minutes. Nothing else? Somebody want a motion to adjourn?
So move.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you, guys. If y'all want to qualify, we'll be up here. Take the checks.
I got a question.